To the 90s. So we mentioned Real Player One, made in 2018. But actually, if we go back a little further, back in the 90s, there was a movie called Lawnmower Man, which was also headsets and stuff. So there were headsets back in 1990. You could mod it. There was a data glove that one of the early game boxes was used. You could modify this equipment, but first of all, the resolution of the goggles wasn't very good, and two, the internet speeds back then weren't. We were still dialing up with modems or ISDN routers was the maximum speed. Now we're getting fiber optic Wi-Fi, 100 gigabit a second connections. So now it's more possible that this can start to take off. But my interest in virtual reality back in the 90s stemmed from a discontentment with reality. In this world, there's poverty, there's pollution, there are many problems, and somehow back in those idealistic days, I thought somehow if I wore a pair of goggles, I could just escape. I became a computer program based on. There were a few books. There was an author named William Gibson, there was a whole genre called basically cyberpunk science fiction. Bruce Sterling and William Gibson were talking about these ideas back in the mid to late 90s. In fact, there's a book called Cryptomonicon by Bruce Sterling, published in 1999, where he's basically talking about cryptocurrency before it even happened. And actually, the first cryptocurrency before Bitcoin was called e-gold, which, like the early days of Bitcoin, there was an exchange called Mt. Gox, where a lot of people were storing their Bitcoin, and it suddenly disappeared, and people lost a lot of money. And the same thing happened with e-gold. The regulators came after them, and that project got stopped. So fast forward 20 years. Where my position is, like, personally, I like to live in the real world. I feel like human beings creating a virtual world is like trying to play God, and actually God's done a pretty good job, I think, and I don't know if we can do any better.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Amen to that.
I agree with that.
And I saw this on Twitter today. I wanted to share with you, and it kind of serves as a warning.
What's that?
If we are not careful, this is where we are headed.
What's that?
You can pass it around.
Everything is just getting sucked out of you.
Yeah.
Your whole.
Jeez. Sounds quite promising.
Yeah, that's good. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is a bit scary, isn't it?
Did you see that?
Yeah, that's the problem.
We don't want that.
But what happens? You can put on this goggles. You can have whatever you want. Living in whatever fantasy world you could possibly imagine.
So how do you see the metaverse?
Which, how do I see the metaverse? So, basically my orientation has been just to try to live in this reality and make it better by trying to clean plastic up when I see it and, be a good citizen. The plain fact of the matter was two of my friends from the 90s, and we used to talk a lot about this virtual reality stuff. They went ahead and got involved in Decentraland about 5 years ago. So they weren't the founders, but they were there from the very beginning, and the founders left anyway. So one friend is now running Casino Land in Decentraland, which may have a lot of problems because the gaming, gambling is regulated in some countries, and sometimes they can't. If someone uses a proxy server, they can't know where they've come from, and they might be in the casino. And the other friend is more involved in just Decentraland, like running teams that run events. They had a very popular festival about 2 months ago where they had some major artists, well-known musicians. There's a few locations. There's Festival Land, which is about online music. There's a university, and there's the casino. There are a few other worlds, some to do with gaming and various things.
All in Decentraland?
All in Decentraland, yeah.
So it's a whole world.
So it is a whole world, yes. And I was at an NFT conference in London in early November, and we have these people doing digital fashion for avatars in the games.
Yeah, excuse me.
Mint, please, for me, yeah. And they're like, we're the first to have done this, but no, actually, Decentraland, we've been doing this now for a few years. But I think this is whenever you're very successful, people can get jealous, basically. So yeah, Decentraland's been around a lot longer than Sandbox, or this new one that I saw coming up. What's it called?
Vampire? Access?
No, there's a new. It's another world.
Earth
Oh,
2?
Superworld.
Is it Earth 2? There's one called Earth 2.
There's Earth 2, and I asked one of my friends that runs the Decentraland games, the casino, and he's like, oh, they haven't really even got a prototype out yet, so they're not a problem for us.
You're talking about Superworld?
No, I'm not talking about Superworld. Somnium is coming out soon, and they're doing an initial coin offering soon. And then, of course, I guess the other aspect of this is, and probably why Metaverse started to become popular, was the fact that Axie Infinity and Gala Games, I guess they're the other big one. But I think it was initially Axie Infinity. Suddenly people in the Philippines were quitting their jobs, playing Axie Infinity, making $20 or $30 a day, which is in the Philippines a good salary. And this, and they're, they get these Axies, which are an NFT, and then they can fight them and they can breed them and generate new NFTs and sell their Axies, and it creates this marketplace. Because of all that hype started probably more in the late summer, and then it was only when Facebook came out and announced that they're rebranding as Meta that a lot of attention started to go to Decentraland and Sandbox.
Can you show us Decentraland?
So we're gonna go try and do Decentraland. So I maybe I should back up because I thought my avatar was saved, but I want to kind of go through. Where's my mouse? This USB is getting a bit funny. Just a second. So, yeah. Have you heard of MetaMask?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you explain what it is?
MetaMask is a plugin for Chrome, which acts as a wallet, which so you can use that wallet on Chrome to connect to usually DeFi, decentralized finance. So you can go on to Uniswap, SushiSwap, and you connect with your wallet, and then you can use the decentralized exchange. So you're not having to buy or sell from a centralized authority like Binance or KuCoin or
OKX.
some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Instead, in DeFi, you can go and you can actually change coins with other users.
But you don't have to use MetaMask for that. You can still use Uniswap and SushiSwap, is it?
Pancake swap.
Can you use these
Pancake
without?
Swap.
You don't
They're
have to-
different wallets. There's a Binance wallet. There are a few different wallets now. There's the Phantom wallet. There's the Binance Smart Chain. Runs on a different smart network. It's not on the Ethereum network. MetaMask is for Ethereum-based tokens. And of course, the main problem with Ethereum-based tokens is the gas fees have been very, very high, which some say is a good sign because it means people are. There's a big ecosystem which is grown on Ethereum for smart contracts. So, actually, gas fees high means that it has a big ecosystem. But still, when I go on there the other day, I did a conversion and they wanted, I had to pay like $50. It's just crazy.
You can send it on Solana network for like.
Yeah, for pennies. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these smart contracts that are running their DeFi on Ethereum are now moving to Solana or Avalanche or Luna or Matic, which seems to be the best layer 2 solution for Ethereum. And Matic uses a Z rollup mechanism, so it captures a bunch of transactions and then it sends it to Ethereum as one. So then it's the transaction fee's a lot. But there will be Ethereum 2 sometime this year, we think.
I guess they designed it a certain way.
Yeah, you can't change it.
Yeah, they can change it. That's why Cardano supposedly
And
solves
Cardano, another
the
one.
problem of Ethereum, actually.
What about Liquid Network?
Liquid.
You don't know Liquid?
No, I don't know Liquid.
Okay.
What's the token?
Blockstream. It's yeah.
So yeah, I guess what is it like? Cardano,
Lightning.
Luna, Avalanche,
Polkadot, maybe.
Yeah.
Polkadot, and then you
Those
have.
are founders of Ethereum. Actually, the Cardano guy was the founder
He was
of one of the founders of Ethereum. And because of that limitation, because it's single lane
Yeah, he
transactions, everyone processes on one lane. Cardano supposedly
I think
is gonna solve
Cardano
that.
and everything was dropping the past few weeks, but we've had an
Yeah.
uptick the past few days,
Yeah.
and the uptick in Cardano looks very good. But I note like Luna never even dropped in the latest dip. Luna didn't drop; it just kept going up. Like Avalanche did a couple of months ago. Things were dropping down, but just kept going.
What's Luna doing?
Well, it's like $100 now. It's so it's another fast, high transaction, low gas fee, smart contract network. And I mean, the approach I have is just to buy all of them. because who knows who's going to
Just
be the
don't know.
winner.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Avalanche, Solana, just
you think about the internet in the early days. In when I got on the internet in '94, we were using we were using Mosaic from Netscape, and then MySpace came along, and they're gone. It was Facebook. Mosaic's gone. It became Internet Explorer, Chrome.
Mozilla Firefox.
So
tell us more about Decentraland.
yeah.
So
Because this is the metaverse, right?
yeah, so it's like this is that little cowboy thing we saw there. That's a game. So it's a completely open kind of world. You use mana to buy land. You can use mana in the casino. You can use mana to buy tickets to go into a music event. So that's the currency of the world. And
A music event within the metaverse?
yeah, they
Really?
yeah, and what they did, they had some, I forget who it was.
She actually attended like digitally, remotely.
Yeah, you go in with your avatar,
Oh, wow.
and one of the famous musicians that was there, I forget who it is now.
So they're like people like Neil Young or Bob Dylan would have an avatar and he'd be playing in a virtual concert.
Yeah, but what they did was they went to a place that has these bodysuits, electronic bodysuits, and they made the artist dance, and then they imported that as a 3D model into Decentraland. So when they're playing the music, the artist was also dancing. But you can't do that in real time yet. You can't plug in a bodysuit into your USB and be moving. You have a few gestures, you can like raise your hand or do this.
So it's pre-recorded.
Yeah, but for the event, they recorded the dancing, so they imported that animation into Decentraland, and then the artist was dancing during the performance.
During the performance.
But with time, of course, bodysuits will come, more bandwidth, higher resolution goggles, I don't know, digital smell.
Some digital smoke is coming out.
Yeah.
Mine boggles.
Digital
Your
drug.
computer is burning at that point.
Can you have digital sex in Decentraland?
I think the thing is like what's making a lot of the sector hot is this play to earn thing that's going on, like in Gala Games and Axie Infinity, where you can get tokens for actually engaging in the game. And I asked my friend about this. I think that there are parts in Decentraland where you can go play the game and earn tokens, but I haven't like really found them yet.
Right.
So if I go to get started, and maybe I need to test the speed again. It did get pretty high there. Okay, so you can go in as a guest, or you play with your wallet. So your wallet becomes your identity when you connect into Decentraland. So then MetaMask Chrome plugin pops up here.
And just a quick question. Okay, carry on.
So and then it's saying, are you signing that you're allowing to connect? It's not gonna take money from my wallet, although I don't have very much in here. But it's just signing. Okay, I'm connecting my wallet for identity purposes to.
And so you can then go into Decentraland itself, into this virtual world.
Yeah.
Is there a map or something? How does it work?
Is this still connecting? It got up to 10 for a bit.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Eddie's still out though?
Yeah. I'm just gonna sort of say that tonight's workshop is about what is the metaverse, and yes, it is. Yeah. And the question is whether or not this is actually something we need to think about in the future, or we need to take it with a bit of caution, because we certainly do not want sort of a world that is basically taking us away from reality. But in your opinion, would you say that this is a good thing?
I didn't get on to that point.
Yeah. Would you say it's a good thing in the for the future, or
like as much as I said before?
Will it reduce carbon footprint? Will it help people to earn money, or?
Well, someone, when COVID happened, like if you think about when did the first mobile phone come out? I was